Hey, welcome back. All right, so in this tutorial, we're going to make it so that a material part of the screen changes from one color to another color. And that's just really kind of a visual cue to let the player know that the platform is either stopped moving or it's moving. As sort of a piece that will be more interesting once you can interact with the platform than maybe being automated like it is right now. But we're going to go ahead and put it in to the blueprint, and we're going to get our blueprint all set up so that as we go through and change the different methods of interaction with it in future tutorials, then the platform is already set up. We don't have to go back and do those type of things. Maybe just tweak them just a little bit. So let me go ahead and jump into this. All right, so this is our blueprint for our moving platform. We got this far already. This is our moving platforms. These are our moving platforms, I guess. And right now it has a red screen, meaning that it's deactivated. What I want to do is make it so that it turns green. We already have in our content drawer, in our materials, let's see where I put it. There it is. Glass. And I made several different types of glass here. This one is the glowing red one. I'm going to change it to this MI glowing green glass. If you have a glass material that you want to use or some other material, you can use it in place of this. Or you can look at one of my previous tutorials on how we made these glass. There's also some glass that's a default in the engine as it is. So you can search that and find it and then make a material instance and kind of change the colors on that as well. All right, so let's go ahead, since we have the materials already set up from, like I said, from previous tutorial, we're going to go ahead and go back into our blueprint. And this is really a pretty quick and simple process, and let's kind of just think through this. When we play, so this update right here, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to change the material from red to green. So the default color is going to be the red color, and the change color when it's moving is going to be the green color. So simply enough, we can just kind of drag off of here. I'm going to put it before we start to move. The color is going to change first, and then we can even put a little bit of a delay so that it kind of like you interact with the screen and then the platform starts to move. This is actually going to be set material. So we're going to set material by name, and it's going to be for our SM platform. So if we select this one, it already drags out our platform for us. And I'm going to drag these down out of the way for right now. Actually, I'm going to move these up over here because we're going to come back to this in just a second. So we'll move these up out of the way above us because we're going to kind of make another branch here. And I'll just grab this and kind of move it like that. All right, so now let's talk about the function that we just pulled up here. It's already got our platform attached to it because that's what we wanted to do. And it looked in our components over here. It said, oh, you have something that has materials attached to it, which is this SM platform. And that's why we only had that one option. And we have a material slot name, and then we also have a material that we want to change it to. So the material slot name, let's go ahead and take a look at that. If we go to the platform itself, we can see that the platform has several different materials assigned to it, and each of these are slot names. Now, when we made this platform, remember I kind of hit on changing the slot names right here so to something that makes sense. Otherwise, it's going to kind of give you a default name for whatever the material was that was assigned to it at that time. In this case, we changed them to screen, and if you have not done that and you're interested in knowing how to do that, if you just double click on the image of the platform or whatever it is you're using, you can see that right in here is where these material slots are, and you can actually just select it right here and change the name to them right there and then hit save. So the one that we're going to want to change is this one right here. So the slot name is actually screen. Okay, so I want to change screen. And we got to type it in exactly the same way. So capital SCREEN for mine, exactly spelled the same way. And the material I want to change it to is going to be my MI underscore glass. And it's going to be glowing green. That's the color I want to change it to. So now it should change as soon as it hits, and as soon as we hit play. But once it's done, so once we go through the finished part, we're going to want to pull this over here. We're going to want to change it back to red, right? So I can select these two here since we've already got most of it done. I can hit Control D and duplicate that one. And from the finished, I'm just going to drag into here and put it there. And put that there. Make a mess out of things. And then for the material, we're going to want to change this back to the glowing red. So now it's going to, once it's finished, it's going to go back to red. It's going into delay, and then it's going to move the platform. Now, because we have this set up to be event begin play, and it starts to move right away, I am going to put a little bit of a delay in here temporarily to be able to kind of slow everything down so we can kind of see what's happening. So I'm going to pull that over a little bit. Pull out from here, type in delay. Throw that in there for the time being. We're going to make this like 7 seconds so that basically what's going to happen is once it finishes, it's going to change this to the green color or to the red color. And then there'll be a 3-second delay. Then it'll start to move the platform again. And then before it moves, and this doesn't make a lot of sense the way it's going to work, so it'll be kind of funky, but we'll see what we get. So now if I go back in here and kind of set myself up, I'm going to hit play. Should be about 7-second delay, and then we should start seeing the platforms move. The screen changes to green, and I probably should have jumped on it while I had the chance. Let's try that again. Let me go ahead and hit play. Jump onto the platform. Platform screen should change green when it starts to move. Then as soon as it's finished, it should turn red. Now it's going to turn green, and we're going to sit here for a few seconds probably before it starts to move again. Nope. Okay. Actually, it worked out pretty well. Okay. So that's it for this tutorial. Just a real simple process of being able to change the material. As you saw, it's really easy. Of course, I'm using this kind of a green glowing glass thing. If you have some other material you want to change it to, you can certainly do it the same way. In the next tutorial, we are going to do the next step, which is adding sound. And that's going to be a little bit more involved because we're going to have to go out and find the sounds. And I'm going to show a different method than we've done in the past at how to get those sounds and how to put them into the game. All right, so if you had any issues with this or any questions, problems, comments, please put it down in the comments. I will answer you. Also, in order to keep up with these tutorials, and if you want to know how to put sound in, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and so you can keep up. And I will see you next time. Thanks for playing.